Madrimov is going to be very difficult, man. He doesn't give you much.
People often say Crawford is unbeatable, but when it comes to facing Canelo, even the experts have their doubts. In fact, many believe Crawford is about to step into a fight he just can't win. Sean Porter, a seasoned pro who knows what it's like to face the best, has some serious concerns about Terence Crawford taking on Canelo Alvarez.
It's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But
Porter's analysis highlights a key factor: size and power. Canelo's punches aren't just powerful, they can change the course of the fight. If Crawford struggles to withstand the early pressure from Canelo, lasting all 12 rounds becomes nearly impossible. With Canelo likely planning to overwhelm Crawford before he has a chance to tire, the challenge for Crawford grows even tougher. Edgar Banga, who has sparred with some of the hardest hitters in boxing, has a well-informed opinion on the potential Canelo vs. Crawford fight. When asked about it, his reasoning for favoring Canelo is simple, but very telling.
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, his weight.
Yeah. And he's always perpetually moving in the same rhythm, the same bounce. You can't time.
Banga's point highlights a major concern for Crawford: his size and physicality. Canelo is naturally built for the higher weight classes, which makes his punches stronger and his presence in the ring more overwhelming. As Crawford moves up in weight, he'll be stepping into unfamiliar territory against a fighter who thrives on breaking opponents down with relentless power and size advantages. Coach Joel Diaz, who has worked with world champions and analyzed top matchups at the highest level, doesn't hold back when discussing the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. He questions the story being sold to fans and makes it clear where he stands on the matter.
Crawford, millions of dollars, great, but don't try to come and try to fool me, telling me that Crawford can beat Canelo. There is no way. There is no way that Crawford can beat Canelo.
No, you can't time that.
And that's the thing about the crowd. They don't know Madrimov, so they don't understand.
Diaz's doubts aren't just based on the hype. They're grounded in reality. Canelo is a seasoned fighter used to facing bigger, stronger opponents, while Crawford, despite his skill, is stepping into a monumental challenge against a powerhouse like Canelo. The physical gap, combined with Canelo's fight IQ and experience at higher weight classes, makes Diaz's position clear. This is a fight that might be too much for Crawford. One of boxing's top promoters understands how the business side influences decisions. While many professionals believe Canelo will dominate Crawford, Eddie Hearn points out that Canelo may not even be motivated to take the fight in the first place. His reason for this could hit hard.
It's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight.
Eventually, he's going to get going. It's just going to get Terence going.
This point highlights a common reality in boxing. Even if Canelo defeats Crawford decisively, critics may downplay the victory, claiming Crawford is just too small for someone like Canelo.
Everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights plus less than me.
Even so, it doesn't change the fact that Canelo will likely bring all of his skills to the fight, aiming to dominate from the very first bell. For Crawford, this means not only facing an uphill battle in terms of size, but also proving he belongs in the ring with a seasoned powerhouse like Canelo. Teofimo Lopez, known for his bold opinions and sharp boxing knowledge, didn't hold back when analyzing how Canelo would break down Terence Crawford. Lopez believes the sheer physicality and experience that Canelo brings are game changers in this matchup.
Stoppage if they fight in May, Canelo and Crawford.
Decision or
and why does Canelo beat him? Before you get out of here.
All right, listen, we can have the skills and everything, but jumping that much like that. It's a takeover. Jumping like that much, getting hit. I don't think Crawford's ever fought a fighter that's hit him directly, just straight, constantly in the arms. And it's not because they can't. They don't think that way.
Appreciate you.
Gotta clear it out, guys. Remember, this man's been pro since what, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
15.
Yeah, 15. Doesn't make a big difference.
To react and start throwing some punches of his own.
And what I like about Madrimov,
Lopez highlights something Terence Crawford has never truly encountered: a fighter who brings relentless pressure and delivers punishing shots, even if they aren't always aimed at the head.
Reacting to what Crawford wants him to make. Crawford's gonna have to, he's gonna have to set the
Canelo's strategy of breaking down his opponents with body and arm shots is a nightmare for smaller fighters. With years of elite experience and incredible power, Lopez believes Crawford's ability to maintain sharp defense could be pushed to its limits. Timmy didn't stop there. He made a bold statement about the fight.
Round does Crawford get knocked out? I'm gonna put 8. Let's put it on the universe. So I'm gonna put it on 8. 8. And if it goes the other way, I 8. You know, I 8. So yeah, Ryan, Joe, and Eddie Reynoso also. That'll be cool, man. We all get work. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have our own underground boxing, me and Ryan, before we fight.
set the pace right here with him being offensive first, which he's doing now.
This is usually the round.
That's a bold statement, but Lopez believes Canelo's power and experience will be too much for Terence Crawford to handle. Danny Garcia, a former world champion known for his sharp insight into tough matchups, has also warned Crawford about the challenge of stepping into the ring with Canelo.
You know, at the end of the day, they're two great pound-for-pound fighters, and if they feel like, you know, it makes sense and they want to fight each other, stylistically, it's a great fight. But, you know, Canelo, he's a big dude. So I think it'd be hard for anyone to beat him at 168. But, you know, it's definitely a big money fight, and that's why we're all in boxing, you know, to make the biggest fights.
Those are good jabs.
Garcia's warning reveals a tough reality. Canelo Alvarez's dominance at 168 pounds presents a huge challenge for any fighter, even one as skilled as Terence Crawford. While this fight could define Crawford's legacy, the physical gap between the two might be too much for him to overcome. Keith Thurman, a former champion and one of the sharpest minds in boxing, knows exactly what it takes to win a high-stakes fight. But when it comes to Canelo versus Crawford, Thurman isn't just concerned about the fight itself. He believes that everything will have to fall perfectly into place for Crawford to have any chance.
It's impossible for my boy Crawford, but it's one of those things where if he really wants to win against Canelo, he's going to need to do everything. You know, you're going to need to run uphill. You're going to need to train in high altitude. You're going to need to do every little thing that gives you that, you know, athletic edge, and lots of pre-fight meditate. You know, you got to see victory before the victory manifests.
Thurman paints a clear picture of how tough this fight would be for Terence Crawford. He'll need more than just his skills. He'll have to push himself to his physical and mental limits. Even then, Canelo's overwhelming size, power, and experience at higher weight classes make this challenge seem nearly impossible. With every bit of Crawford's preparation already stacked against him, Canelo's relentless pressure and precision could be the deciding factors, turning a possible victory into a painful reality check. Roy Jones Jr., a legend in boxing, has a deep understanding of how Canelo fights. While many focus on the weight advantage, Jones highlights something even more important. Canelo's fight plan is not just about the size difference, it's about how Canelo controls the pace of the fight and takes charge from the very first round.
The fact will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. Yeah. Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. Yeah. Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins.
Jones is clear that Canelo Alvarez's approach will play a major role in determining the outcome of a potential fight with Terence Crawford. If Canelo sticks to his strengths, using his power and relentless pressure, he could overwhelm Crawford. However, if Canelo gets too fancy or overthinks the fight, Crawford's slick skills and adaptability might give him an opportunity to take control. The key question is whether Canelo will stick with what works for him, or if Crawford's sharp counterpunching will force him to adapt to something new. Chino Rivas, no stranger to the fight game, doesn't hold back when discussing the possibility of Crawford facing Canelo at 168 pounds. He fully understands the financial and physical stakes of the fight and has a clear message for Crawford.
Canelo's just too big. He's just a different animal. You know, leave the Canelo for the big boys like the David Benavidez, the Morel, you know, all the others, you know, coming in that weight class. And Crawford's smart enough to understand, you know, even though it's a payday, just leave that alone. I mean, unless they talk about that, they guarantee him $15 million. Well, and then it's a business aspect as well. But other than that, I think he shouldn't. I prefer to see him fight Charlo at 54 instead of.
That's what I think Madrimov is doing well here. The patience, the feints, and not really getting.
Rivo's warning brings attention to the tough challenge Terence Crawford would face against Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds. It's not just about the money, it's about survival. While a fight with Jermell Charlo at 154 LP might be more manageable, stepping into the ring with Canelo at super middleweight is a whole different animal. Rivo believes Crawford should carefully weigh the risks before chasing a payday that could cost him more than he's prepared for. Chiron Davis, who has trained alongside both Canelo and Crawford, offers a unique perspective on this potential matchup. Having first-hand experience with what it takes to face someone as powerful and physically imposing as Canelo, Davis doesn't think it'll be an easy fight for Crawford, no matter how skilled he is.
I know that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's a little big. He's a little big for Crawford. It'll be a tall task for him to win. It'll be a lot you have to. It'll be a lot to get that victory based on, size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got the guy that got size and skill. It'll be hard. I mean, nothing's impossible. But if I had my money on somebody winning the fight, it'll be Canelo Alvarez, even though Terence Crawford is a great fighter.
We're aggressive. We're listening to this crowd. We're not falling for the traps that Bud's trying to set. Listen.
Davis doesn't downplay Terence Crawford's talent, but he has concerns about the size and power advantage that Canelo Alvarez holds at 168 pounds. While Crawford's skills might allow him to stay competitive, the combination of Canelo's strength and his experience in this weight class could prove to be too much. Davis is betting on the fighter who can impose his physical dominance. And that's Canelo. Robert Garcia, a respected trainer with years of experience, doesn't make bold statements without solid reasoning. When discussing the potential fight between Canelo and Crawford, Garcia's analysis goes beyond just raw ability. He focuses on the strategic elements that could tilt the scales in favor of the Mexican champion.
Smart bet on Crawford Canelo. Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. And you have to bet?
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision. I've been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously, his strength, his weight,
experience,
everybody takes over.
Point, as it is Golovkin is also as.
Garcia's analysis makes it clear that Canelo Alvarez's size and strength are major factors that could outlast Crawford's skills over the course of 12 rounds. While Crawford is a talented boxer, Canelo's relentless pressure and ability to adjust to any situation make him the more likely fighter to control the fight from start to finish. Garcia predicts a decision win for Canelo, showing his belief in Canelo's well-rounded ability to impose his will without needing a knockout. Stephen A. Smith, known for his sharp and often blunt views on sports, brings his expertise to the table when analyzing a potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. His message is straightforward. While Crawford has the skill, it's Canelo's power that could ultimately be the deciding factor in this matchup.
Is that he won't hurt Canelo. And if he doesn't hurt Canelo and can't hurt Canelo, then Canelo keeps coming. Similar to how he stalked Charlo, how he stalked, once he had Plant hurt, he chased after him. Canelo is a very powerful individual who can get exposed by a boxer because every shot he throws, he's trying to make it a power shot. But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble.
Traps that Bud's trying to set.
Listen, we're 3 rounds in. We're applauding this patient.
Smith points out a crucial issue for Terence Crawford. Without the ability to hurt Canelo Alvarez, Crawford's superior boxing skills might not be enough to keep the Mexican powerhouse at bay. Canelo's relentless pursuit, especially once he senses a weakness, could easily overwhelm Crawford. While Smith acknowledges that Crawford has the ability to outbox Canelo, it's Canelo's power and aggressive style that could ultimately be Crawford's downfall. If Crawford can't keep Canelo off him, it's only a matter of time before Canelo lands a fight-ending punch. Ryan Garcia, a rising star in the boxing world, knows all about high-stakes matchups. His take on a potential fight between Canelo and Crawford reflects his understanding of what it takes to face a fighter like Canelo. While Garcia respects both fighters' abilities, he recognizes the clear advantage Canelo has in terms of size and strength.
What about Canelo and Crawford? What do you think?
That's gonna be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
At this point, as it is, Golovkin is also as
Garcia's analysis comes down to one key point: size and strength. While Terence Crawford's skill is undeniable, Garcia believes that Canelo Alvarez's physicality will ultimately be too much for him. For Garcia, it's not about the tactics or technical aspects of the fight. It's about the sheer power and force that Canelo brings, something Crawford may struggle to overcome. Despite the excitement surrounding the potential matchup, Garcia sees Canelo as the clear favorite because of these physical advantages. Adonis Wilkins also provides a sharp breakdown of the potential Canelo versus Crawford fight, emphasizing one major factor that many believe could be Crawford's downfall: the weight difference. While Crawford has proven himself at 147 Ls, moving up to 168 Ls to face a fighter like Canelo presents a whole new set of challenges. Wilkins doesn't sugarcoat the situation. He lays out why Crawford's superior skill might be neutralized by Canelo's physicality, making it a tough battle for the challenger.
If the paperwork gets signed up and finished, if Crawford can get him to come down some weight,
it's gonna be at 68.
That's a bad look for Crawford. I love Crawford, dog. I think he's real talented, but we see him at 154 going up in weight class, and he kind of struggled. He didn't struggle, but that weight was definitely a difference. To go up another 2 weight classes after that, we're gonna see a lot slower Terence Crawford. Yeah, his boxing ability is there, but Crawford don't hit like Canelo. Canelo's coming down for that fight. It's gonna be rough.
Canelo may not be the most skilled fighter, bit as this big destroyer once.
Wilkins highlights the tough challenge Terence Crawford would face at 168 lbs, noting that while Crawford is an incredibly skilled boxer, his power and speed might not be enough against someone of Canelo Alvarez's level. Despite Crawford's abilities, Canelo's raw power and aggression would likely make it hard for Crawford to keep up. Canelo's ability to exploit any flaws in Crawford's game would give him a significant advantage. Wilkins strongly predicts a Canelo win, pointing out that Canelo's overwhelming physicality and size, especially after moving down from 175, would likely overpower Crawford's skills, making it a very difficult fight for the challenger. Dennis Thompson Jr. also shares his thoughts on the potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Drawing on Canelo's experience moving up in weight, Thompson believes that Canelo's physicality and ability to adapt at higher weight classes will give him a clear edge, especially when it comes to stamina and power.
September. We got Canelo Alvarez, we got Terence Crawford.
Right.
What's your thoughts?
I think I'd say Canelo. I feel like I ain't really like Bud performance when he moved up the first time, and I feel like Canelo might end up breaking him down. Different, well, we fighting bigger guys.
Yeah.
They be much stronger and too they coming down from a higher weight originally, so it'd be that. They punches be a little stronger, and you moving up, you might feel a little sluggish. You might not be at your same speed and stuff like that. You might be a little off.
See both men of keeping the space exactly where.
Thompson points out Canelo Alvarez's impressive ability to move up in weight classes, highlighting how he successfully handled the challenges of fighting at 168 pounds and above. Canelo's strength, power, and relentless pressure give him a clear advantage, especially against Terence Crawford, who would also be stepping up in weight. Thompson suggests that Crawford may struggle to handle Canelo's physicality throughout the fight, gradually being worn down as the rounds go on. With Canelo's history of breaking down opponents over time, Thompson believes that Crawford will have a tough time maintaining his speed and skill when facing such a powerful force. Chiz, a well-known boxing analyst famous for his bold opinions, doesn't hold back when discussing the potential fight between Canelo and Crawford. He stresses one key point: the significant weight difference and the size advantage Canelo holds over Crawford.
Dog, Crawford fans, I've been trying to say this, dog. Canelo at 168 is all wrong for Crawford, dog. He ain't gonna do what he did. He's gonna absorb Crawford's shots. He's gonna catch and shoot, and he's gonna rip some shit. He's gonna cut off the ring. He's gonna even counter. He got faster hands than you expect. Canelo hands faster than Madrimov. Brother, you think he was strong at 150, and Madrimov was strong at 154. Canelo at 160 is diabolical, dog.
Golovkin is a great middleweight, but style. Canelo tries with the hook.
When it comes to a potential showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, Many experts believe Crawford's usual strategy, focused on speed and footwork, might not be enough to beat Canelo, especially at 168 pounds. Canelo's strength and skill in this weight class are considered to be overwhelming. With his faster hands, ability to cut off the ring, and relentless pressure, Canelo could give Crawford a difficult time, especially as the fight progresses into the later rounds. Canelo's punching power and experience at higher weights are major advantages in this matchup. As the rounds go on, his physicality could become too much for Crawford to handle. Experts, including former champions and seasoned trainers, agree that Crawford will have a tough challenge ahead. While Crawford's skill and adaptability are undeniable, the physical gap between the two fighters, especially when it comes to Canelo's strength at 168 pounds, could prove to be a major hurdle. Canelo thrives at these higher weights, and his dominance could simply be too much for Crawford to withstand, despite Crawford's impressive abilities. The question is whether Crawford can defy the odds and pull off an upset, or if Canelo will continue his reign as one of boxing's most dominant forces. One thing is for sure, the fight will be one to remember and will have everyone talking. So, what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below.